absolutely hate the red pill movement.
Dr. Sydney Watson does not like the red pill community. That much is clear. It might be that someone might have offended her sensibilities as a center-right online personality, an influencer, if you will, who makes basic videos about not liking stuff that is woke. But the red pill, whatever that is, that goes a little too far. But maybe I'm being a little coy. We all know what the red pill community stuff is about at this point. A lot of inconvenient truths, or at least opinions, about stuff like race and gender that is not very fashionable to express. And I don't associate myself necessarily with all that, and certainly not with Andrew Tate. There is a certain discourse online that is like unhinged, and they don't hitch their wagon to the conservative establishment, and they're just speaking their truth, if you will, in a way that is, again, not acceptable to the sensibilities of certain female conservative personalities online, one of which is Sydney Watson, another is Ashley St. Clair, and a third is Lauren Southern. So let's discuss those cases. Case study number 1, conservative influencer Ashley St. Clair, who is becoming a frequent foil of mine, and it's all collegial, it's all good. Here's what she posted on April 18th. Republicans will lose the election by a landslide if they do not purge all of these red pill lunatics who have severe mommy issues and hate women. Unfortunately, the tweet that she's quoting has locked their account. Okay, this guy, Edmund Smirk, kind of a funny pseudonym. He locked his account. He couldn't take the heat from Ashley St. Clair. What did he say? Was it very insane? Was he a lunatic? But nonetheless, we kind of get the gist of what this debate online is about. Ashley St. Clair believes that there are guys on the right who are maybe critiquing women or critiquing feminism in a way that goes too far, in her opinion. And she's telling us, as conservatives, that we need to police this kind of expression. In other words, she's tone policing. Here was a tweet from Lauren Southern. Was a tweet because she deleted it. I remember reading it, and it was more or less the same thing that Ashley St. Clair said. So the conservative online female influencers, I don't know, maybe they're in a group chat, but they are all having a similar kind of grievance that they're expressing. So I don't remember what it was word for word, but it was like, yeah, men need to stop being negative about women or else you're never going to win an election. Now, this lady here who responded said, if the men on the right aren't willing to acknowledge this or call it out when they see it or check themselves, the right will continue losing women. They may not like it, but those are the facts. So Kat Kanata, whoever she is, very nicely summed up this perspective. And here's my take, okay? The audience for conservative media, for conservative pontificating, is like minimum 90% men. And the conservative influencers online, their audience is likewise going to be the same proportion. So no one here is influencing women one way or the other. Women are quite indifferent to all of this discourse, frankly. They're watching other stuff. They're watching shows. They're, to the extent that women do consume political news, they might be watching CNN or one of the liberal channels, and some of them might be watching Fox News. It's not like women don't vote Republican. Like, certainly there's a lot. However, when it comes to conservative media, this is a very male-dominated area for whatever reason. So let's not kid ourselves. And the fact that it's a male audience, frankly, also helps women like Lauren Southern and Sydney Watson, who we listened to in the beginning, and finally Ashley St. Clair. Because these guys they're enamored with the looks of these young women. And so they're clicking and they're liking and they're watching and they're subscribing. I can't imagine, I personally have never learned anything from any of these female conservative influencers. Not to say there aren't good conservative female writers. To name a few, you got Ann Coulter and Heather McDonald, and then Peggy Noonan, someone kind of the last generation. So I myself am not denigrating, females in general, to be very clear, but I am very skeptical of, number one, as I say, the female influencers who are everywhere and not particularly gifted and not with anything especially original to say. And then on the other hand, they're policing what we can say. And I personally feel like a staple of the conservative movement has to be critiquing feminism. If that crosses the line into woman hate, I'm against it. But I don't frankly see that at all. What I see is a very female-dominated discourse on any topic that has to do with like relationships or the male experience. And that's part of what I'm trying to rectify with this video and pretty much everything that I produce. So I hope that, Ashley St. Clair and Lauren Southern would find my content acceptable. I hope they don't think I'm alienating women. God forbid. But the fact is, I doubt they're listening anyway, sadly. My name is Michael McCara. Thank you so much for listening. Do like this video if you liked it. Follow me on Twitter. And finally, do subscribe to my channel.